Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. We are back. We are back. We are back. Last week we took a little small break, but we are back. And so I want to say we're going to be talking about how to disenroll from HMO, but the advantages and the disadvantages of being in managed care. But I also want to say this information is very helpful, especially to those who don't understand Medicaid, Medicare, because I don't really understand it myself. So that's why I bring professionals in who stand in this arena and they know all about the ins and out. And what I want to say, even for those who might watch the live stream or even the replay, in our communities, we suffer the most, and we are the one who lacks in information. And if we had proper information, I believe we can make better decisions for ourselves and our family members. And I also want to say that it's very important that we consume this information for our mothers, our grandmothers, our great aunts, our aunties, when they're getting older and they're elevating to the age range where they need the Medicare and the Medicaid to totally understand the ins and outs. And I know you all see that we've been doing this consistently, but I'm doing this consistently and being persistent in this endeavor because I want it to stick. And I want us to really understand how important it is to know what we have in our possession and how to use it properly. So everybody should be very familiar with Constance Sullivan from Preventive Services. This is her expertise. And if you have family members that has an HMO and you really think that you don't know how to get in it or what it is, how is it serving you any purpose, or if it's serving you any purpose at all, Constance is the person that you need to talk to. And I'm going to tell you this. Last week, I was talking to another senior, and she had been she was going to a new doctor. And going to the new doctor, they forgot to do her vitals. She had to ask them to do her vitals and all kind of things. And she became very frustrated because her appointment was late in the evening. And you all know that seniors don't like to travel when it's too late in the evening going to a doctor's appointment. And so she became quite frustrated, but she didn't know that she had another option. So what I did was I was resourceful with my resources. I picked up the phone and I called Connie and I said, look, Connie, I have this senior and she needs your assistance. And she was able to give her the peace that she needs where she can have doctors coming in home and she don't have to go outside. So I'm gonna let Constance introduce herself, which we call her Connie. And tell us about the ins and outs so we can really understand how the Medicare, Medicaid, and HMO play a part in the medical realm, because I'm not the profession. So we're going to let the professional take over. Come on, Connie, tell her about it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a Woman's Heart. This is one of my favorite shows. And today we're going to talk about how to disenroll out of Medicare HMO. So the first step for disenrolling out of a Medicare HMO is, of course, is to call Medicare. Medicare's number, if you want to write it down, is 800-64227. This number is also located on the back of your Medicare card. So if you didn't get it, you can look on the back of your card. It is located there. And it's 800-633-4227. Okay. So when you call the number, you're gonna get an automation, which means that it's going to talk to you. A person is not going to answer the phone. It's going to be a machine. So a lot of people find that part a little difficult to work through. So the easiest way to work through it is going to ask you for your Medicare number. It also is going to ask you for your date of birth. And you can say it, and it probably will, and it probably won't get it right. But if you start saying agent and just keep saying agent and keep saying agent, they'll put a live person on the phone. For those who can't make it through the automated part of the phone call, um, when the representative comes on the phone, make sure that you have your Medicare card in front of you because they're going to ask you for that information, and you know your address, Chicago, Illinois, whatever township you're in, and the zip code, of course, your phone number. And the reason for your call is basically you either want one or two things. You either want to disenroll out of the HMO, or you want to enroll into a Part D plan, which would automatically disenroll you out of the HMO. Okay, so when you call to pick your plan, and you want to get out of the HMO, you want to go into PPO and make sure that the PPO is what it says. It's okay to ask them, what does this PPO cover? You want to make sure that it covers all your preventive services and in-home services as well. Um, there is also some people that have Medicare and Medicaid who can go back to the Part D plan because Medicare and Medicaid works together perfectly. So you're still going to have zero deductibles, zero this, zero that. So it's okay to go back to original Medicare, have your public aid, and a Part D plan. This will open you up to go to anywhere. That's like the Cadillac of insurances. But if you go into a PPO, make sure your medications is covered. More than likely, if you are a Medicare recipient, Medicare has a list of your medications, but you might want to go over that. Make sure that that is clear. Most of the time, when you disenroll out of an HMO, it starts the first of the prior month. So if you disenroll around the 15th, you will not be eligible to use insurance until the first of that following month. So just keep that in mind. If you disenroll on the 15th, you won't start until May 1st or June 1st. Or every first is when they upgrade their records. And if you wait till like the last week, sometime you have to wait 5 or 10 days until the next month. But you will be disenrolled. And sometimes they'll take it over to the next month. But eventually you'll be there. Um, After you have selected your plan and got the information that you needed, they're going to give you a confirmation number. It's about 14 digits, letters and numbers combination. You want to write this down. And the reason that you want to write this confirmation number down, let's say that they told you that your benefits are supposed to start May 1st. May 1st comes and your benefits didn't change. You will call Medicare back and you will give them this confirmation number. And this confirmation number assures them that you did make this call and they supposed to change and they will take care of their business within 3 days. But if you don't have the confirmation number, you're gonna have to disenroll again and you would have to wait until the first of the following month. Okay, so that's how to disenroll out of an HMO, is basically making that phone call, knowing what services that you want. A lot of times you can go, when you go visit your doctor, you can ask your doctor, even if your doctor is in an HMO, what PPOs they take, or do he take original Medicare. If you're not interested in switching doctors, find out what your doctor does take. Um, I doubt it very seriously that your doctor only takes that HMO. So most doctors take PPOs and Medicare. So find out what your doctor, what he will see you under, and then that'll give you some ideas of what plans you may choose from. And more than likely, they have more than one plan. They have several plans that they use. But in order to receive all the services that's available to you, you have to get out of the HMO and get into a PPO or go back to original Medicare, as long as you have Medicaid to go with it when you go back to original Medicare. If you can afford to um, pay for some things that public aid will pay for, like dental and vision, and you don't want to go into a PPO or HMO, just go back to original Medicare. But you would have to find a way for your vision and dental and hearing. The PPOs cover the dental, vision, and hearing, and Medicare and Medicaid covers the dental, vision, and hearing. Medicare alone does not. So you have to have a PPO or have public aid, or Medicaid, whichever one you prefer to call it. And that's the combination for having good insurance and being able to receive all the benefits that you qualify for. From the moment you start working and you see that little column in your on your paycheck that says MEDIL, and most of us started working as kids, they've been taking Medicare all that time. And if you don't use it, they get to keep the money. Take advantage of the benefits. You've already paid for this insurance. Use it. Thank you.
That's a good thing because I don't think we really realize we see everything on our check stubs, but we really don't understand what meaning they have. And we're paying all this money into stuff, and we don't get this money back. So it's important for everybody to know that that's on the check stub, that that's beneficial to you. So, what age does an individual is able to get Medicare, Medicaid? Because I know some disabilities allow you to get it earlier, correct?
Well, technically, it's the age 65.
Okay.
But some people have had Medicare all their life because maybe one of their they were born with some kind of disability and their parents were already on Medicare, so they're like a C1. So there's really no age limit for it, but the age that you qualify for it, and you're healthy and you have no health issues and you have enough points, gotta have enough points, uh, is 65. But if you become disabled before then chances are that you will receive your Medicare.
How many points do you need to actually receive your Medicare?
That I cannot tell you, but I know it is structured. I don't know if it's structures on an individual point system or
Hmm.
a broad point system. I'm not sure, but I know that they do determine if you qualify for Medicare by your points. So if you don't have enough points, then you can't get Medicare. There's some people that will never get Medicare. They 70, 80 years old and they just only qualify for a public aid card because they never worked, they never paid into Medicare. You have to pay into Medicare and you have to have enough points, whatever that point standard is,
Hmm.
to receive Medicare. Not just because you get 65.
Right. So I'm thinking since we're conversating about this, I'm thinking it's probably the years of service and employment, how they determine your
Right,
points.
right. But I don't know what that is. It
Right.
changes from, and I've never had to really keep up with it. I just know that that's how that they determine if you can receive Medicare or not. It is by
Hmm.
points.
So, what is the disadvantages of being locked into an HMO as a senior?
Well, you have to go to their doctors. They have to give you a referral to go from one to the other. Um, HMO doctors are paid salary versus Medicare doctors are paid um, by services that they perform. So you can go to any hospital, any doctor without referrals and receive any kind of in-home services through Medicare and the PPOs. But with the HMO, you have to have everything has to be referred to you or um, for you to go to, or you have to be refer everything has to be referred.
Hmm.
Um, Most of the time, they do not cover in-home services, and if they do, it's only for a very short, limited time. with Medicare, you receive these services as long as you need them.
Mm-hmm.
You might need them longer than 2 months. And a lot of the HMOs are attracting seniors by offering them a fitness workout program. But what happens
Mm-hmm.
if you need to have that workout program in the home that you can't get to the health club?
Right.
So they and if you have public aid, that'll cover your transportation. They do offer transportation, but the PPOs do as well. You just have to ask. You tell the Medicare operator what you're looking for. I want in-home services, I want transportation, and I want Meals on Wheels. And
Mm-hmm.
they'll work with you to find the best plan for you.
Mm-hmm. But
And
that's the problem, because a lot of people don't know this information, and neither do they have an advocate that would speak up for them to get this information, make it readily available to them.
okay, well, and that's probably true. And Medicare can be complicated when you call and you receive an operator who really can't explain it to you like others can. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why there are people like me. They can call me. I mean, I don't charge for what I do. So they can call me if they need assistance with disenrolling out of the HMO. I'll be more than happy to assist.
Yeah, it's a lot,
It's a lot.
and just to know that, like the young lady that you helped this week, I'm sure when you was talking to her, she had no idea of the services that she can get in home, right?
Absolutely. After I got to talking to her, as a matter of fact, I believe that we had to disenroll her out of an HMO. I'm double checking, and put her in a PPO. And she was very, very excited because she didn't know what to do, what doctor to go to, how to even kick off her services or anything like that. So she was, yeah, she was disenrolled. She was disenrolled out of the HMO. So
Mm-hmm.
she was very excited because now she can get all the services that she's looking for will be given to her in the home, and then
Mm-hmm.
she can find the right primary doctor because
Mm-hmm.
even where she went, she said that she was very nervous about this, what the service that she had received. I don't have a clue to where she went, but she said that it was very shady, and you want
Mm-hmm.
to really take your time and pick your primary doctor, and you have to have confidence in it. That doctor will be making a lot of medical decisions for you, especially if you have some health issues. So
Mm-hmm.
she was real comfortable that she's going to be able to receive these services in the home while she take her time and find her primary doctor. She did say that. So, and
Mm-hmm.
she said she didn't have a clue of where to go. When I told her, you don't have to go anywhere, we're going to come to
Mm-hmm.
you. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
good thing about in-home services.
Yeah, and I think a lot of seniors would be a lot more comfortable if they knew this information. That's why it's so important to get it out to everybody, every family member, every sibling, every friend, so you can share this information. And because seniors live in a lot of fear, and like I was saying, I was in the emergency room with my sister, my friend, and I looked around in that emergency room, and it actually really broke my heart to see that most of the seniors that went into the emergency room, once they took their blood pressure, their temperature, they rolled them right back out into the lobby with a sheet wrapped around, and they just left them there. And then I'm thinking to myself, there's nobody there to provide them understanding, because we thinking that what you tell them, they actually understand what's being said to them, and all the time they'll nod, and say, yeah, okay, okay, but they really don't understand what's being told to them. They really don't understand what medications are being prescribed to them. They really don't understand how many times of the day they need to take this medication. They don't understand that. And that's the sad part.
But
For
that's the
me.
good. But the good part about in-home services is that the licensed nurses that come out, they can explain their medication to them, the side effects of their medications, the best time for them to take it per the doctor instructions. They can also help them to set up their medication as well. And a lot of people don't know that a lot of people don't feel good through the whole day is because of side effects from medication.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important that you take the medication the correct way and know why you're taking the medication so that you can manage it.
Right. And as you say, there are a lot of individuals that's sick because of some medications they don't really need to take anymore. Some medications are too strong. Like when I was talking
Absolutely.
to the doctors earlier this week, they was talking that medical lingo where I'm not slow. I didn't just get off the boat on yesterday.
I
So
know,
you could
right?
talk about coagulation. I know what coagulation means. You know what I'm saying? But again, if you don't have an advocate to ask the proper questions, and if the physician who's servicing you don't present it in a user-friendly term way, you still don't understand it. And I'm not knocking doctors because we need them in certain areas, but let's be realistic here. Let's call it a spade a spade. Every person
Absolutely.
that's in the medical field is not in there for the right reasons.
That's
And
correct.
every person that's in the medical field don't have the compassion or the understanding or the caring heart for the people that they serve. A lot of them are in there just for the money because nurses make a lot of money, doctors make a lot of money, and definitely pharmaceutical companies are racking up on prescriptions that the doctors are writing. So we just going to put that out there. We're going to be 100. We're going to be transparent. We're not sugarcoating anything. We're keeping it 100. And so when you know that these situations exist, these conversations that we're having now help you to make better decisions for your life. So you get to choose the
Absolutely.
physician that you want to service you. And when you choose a physician that you want to service you and you're comfortable with that doctor, it makes your healing, it makes your process much better because when you're in the environment of your home, that's already making you more comfortable instead of have to get up, put your clothes on, find some transportation. Then, if you get to the hospital, you're disabled. You got to find somebody to bring you a wheelchair. Then
Wait.
they take forever to roll to get you the wheelchair. And then once you get the wheelchair, then they don't want to roll you to the doctor's office. So it's all these aggravations and irritations. So by the time you get inside the clinic, if your blood pressure was normal, it's like sky high.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you're not
Absolutely.
really helping. You're not really helping these seniors. You're not helping them from my perspective. You're not helping them at all. You're actually putting them in harm's way because if anybody get upset and they're sitting a long time, when you get older, there's a such thing as the patient just goes out the window. When they ready to go, they ready to go.
Yes, they are.
They don't want to wait
Yes,
for the
they are.
pace car. They don't want to wait for
You're
transportation to
absolutely
come get
right.
them from their room. They ready to go. When you
They
say
ready to
you
go
discharge me,
yesterday.
yeah, they ready to go. And that doesn't help because that just adds extra stress to
Yes.
what they're already dealing with. And
Well,
so we have to.
this is why I do what I do. I try to get the information out there to the senior community and people with disabilities and people that have family members that they need help with. Um, this is what I do. I try to call people back as quick as I can, and whatever way I can help, that's what I do to make sure they've got the right information. Any services that I can help them with, I try to pursue those services as well to help people to not to have to struggle for health services, especially when they have the insurance to cover it. They just don't know what to do with it.
Right. And that's the key word. They don't know what to do with it. And I'm going to say this too, because I am who I am. Let us stop being so fearful of asking questions. There's
Ask,
nothing wrong with asking questions with your nurse, with your doctor, with your physical
ask,
therapist, with your pharmacist. Ask the questions. No
ask.
question is a dumb question. It's
Absolutely.
beneficial to you to know what kind of medicines you're taking, why you are taking those medicines. And the biggest thing that I pushed this week was, and I had to get the nurses and the doctors right on together and help them to understand, you prescribe a medication for a patient to take, but you talk about the problem and the reason why they're taking the medication, but you never talk about the side effects. And that is just as big as prescribing the medication, because that
And
patient,
you can't, and when a doctor prescribes you medication, it is okay for you to ask them about the side effects, and that doctor should know because he's prescribing it. So you can ask the doctor when you go to the doctor. Don't be afraid to ask the doctor anything. There, like she said, there is no dumb question when it comes to your health. So you have to help yourself. And so you have to
exactly,
ask questions. You're not gonna just jump off the bridge because somebody told you to jump off the bridge. You're gonna say, "Why you want me to jump off this bridge?" So
right.
if when they give you some medicine or they change your medicine, you want to know why. You want to know, are there any side effects? Is this medicine gonna make me take away my balance, or make me have headaches or blur my vision? It's okay to ask those questions. And you're absolutely right. That is very important because a lot of people miss that. Then they come home and want their loved ones to explain it to them, and they're not licensed profession. They can read what the bottle says, but the doctor can give it to you in details. Why are you taking it? What parts of the body is going to affect? Why he prescribed it to you? You need to know these things. You need to ask these questions because this is your health, and you have to take control over your health.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you can't just sit there and let them rack up a medical bill for hospital stays and doctor visits if they're not really serving you any purpose. That's just wrong on so many levels. But again, this is what we're dealing with. And another thing I've learned in my years is sometimes, even in hospitals, in my family member now, and the chart is, and you had them paper charts, I had to pick them charts up and I read them. You'll be amazed at errors, that simple mistakes that happen on people's individuals' medical records that can be detrimental to them down the line. And so,
Absolutely. But we have to also realize that doctors are, I mean, people sometimes forget that just because you went to school and you have degrees, they people always think that doctors and preachers and that they're somehow perfect human beings, but they make mistakes too. So this is why you have to take control over your own health. It's good to get second opinions. It's good to, like you said, to ask questions. If the doctor can't answer your question, then you shouldn't be under his care. So
exactly. And
everything a doctor does to you, he should be able to explain it thoroughly, including the
mhm,
medications. And if he can't do that, he shouldn't be your doctor.
exactly. I agree. And I also mentioned this, me and the nurse was talking about anyone who go in and out the hospital a lot, to keep from being repetitive in your speech about your situation and medication you take. What I used to do when my son was living, because he was a premature baby, every time he had an appointment with ever doctor, his pulmonary doctor, his heart doctor, whoever it was, I created a cheat sheet, what I call. I wrote down his ailments. I wrote down his birth weight. I wrote down the medications, the surgeries, the scars that he had. And so whenever I would go, if it was an emergency room visit, instead of me saying, "Well, what happened with the child? What is this?" Now here you go. Here go a piece of paper.
Put
I'm sure
all the
y'all can
information
read.
up.
You can read. So everything you need to know is listed on this paper. The last doctor visit is listed. Why was he at the doctor? It's on that piece of paper. And I just kept updating it with things, if it changed drastically to something different, I updated. But I also made a note when they gave him medication was harmful to him and caused a reaction.
Right.
So I made that note as well, because all the time they don't put that in the chart because it's a one-time thing. Well, that one-time thing may affect it that time, and the next time it may not affect it, but later on down the line, it may revisit itself again. So to keep those notes for me, it made sense. So that's all I'm saying. If you have a loved one that's, that visit the hospital a lot, here is something that would take away a lot of stresses in your life, especially when they go into the emergency room. Create yourself a cheat sheet,
Mm-hmm.
with the medication, with the name of their primary physicians. If they have more than one doctor, put that on that piece of paper. Put their ailments, put what they're allergic to, their medication, the last time they've been to the doctor. And when you go to the emergency room, keep you a couple of copies and just give it to them.
And that's a very good advice, because every time you go to the hospital, like you said, they ask you the same questions. Even if you don't go a lot, it's good to write down stuff like that, just in case someone else has to give up history on you. Like, I'm allergic to penicillin, but if I go to the doctor and I'm not conscious, who knows? Who knows to say that? Unless So it's good to write all this stuff down, just in case somebody has to follow up on you, and you'll make sure that also assure that you're receiving proper medical attention. And like you said, it having this sheet only helps the doctor to get more accurate information.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have someone, like you said, that go to the hospital a lot. Every time you go to the doctor, you have to repeat the whole history
All of
and the
it.
family history.
Exactly.
So if you write it
Exactly.
down, they can just go ahead and do it.
And they
Oh,
don't need it. And everybody, then you have to also realize, if you're married, but say you're out with me, I don't know your medical history. You follow what I'm saying? And say you do become unconscious and it's needed penicillin. I wouldn't know that if I'm allergic to morphine.
right.
So how will we know that information? But if you kept that little cheat sheet, I used to fold it, put it in one of the plastic things to keep the paper
Hmm.
from crumbling, and I put it in a little pouch, and I just kept it in my purse. So I'm just saying these are some things that can help us make our life a little simple. That's all I'm saying. And it's information. Now we can use it. We don't have to. That's up to you. Everybody have free choice. But to help you make your life a little bit better and a little bit easier, and you get frustrated when they say, well, what about this? And what about that? Because all the time we don't remember, even when they're
Right.
asking us questions, we
Absolutely.
don't remember everything.
Well, it
But
also
if
depends on what's going on while you're in the hospital.
exactly, exactly. So, like my
I
sister's a
really,
diabetic. Yeah.
yeah, I really appreciate you letting me share some of the information with people, helping them to disenroll out the HMO. And I do want them to remember that you can answer your phone, and they can have someone on the phone that says, would you like to save money on your prescriptions? And if you say yes, you are automatically in an HMO. So we have to
Mm,
be careful about the calls that we receive too. Sometimes they'll call you on the phone and they'll say to you that they're calling from Medicare. Medicare won't call you unless you request Medicare to call you. And they said that they call you to evaluate your medications, and they're trying to slide you into an HMO. So
mm,
Medicare will send you a letter. They probably won't call you unless you call Medicare and ask for someone to call you. Then they will call you. But just to pick up the phone to call you to say they're gonna save you money on your medicine, that's not gonna happen. Social Security and Medicare use paper.
well, see.
I just wanted to share that because um, even my mom called me about a couple of days ago. She says, "You got to call this man back." And I said, "What do I need to call him back for?" He said he could save me money on my medicine. And I called him back and I told him, "Don't do that. And he was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "Well, first of all, you called the senior and didn't explain to her why you was calling, and you said that you called for Medicare to save her money on her prescription, and I know you didn't call for Medicare." "Oh, I didn't call for Medicare. I'm calling from one of the Medicare uh, subsidiary companies that I work for, but that's not what you told her.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not giving her the right information. So could you please remove her from your database? She has everything that she needs."
Mm-hmm. That's third
So
parties.
yeah, so that's what he
Mm-hmm.
said. He was third party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's how they hem up these seniors. Uh,
Absolutely.
without, and I think for our government, they need to do a better job at protecting our seniors and not allowing third parties to intervene. Let them make the decisions that they need to make for themselves. Don't try to
Absolutely.
trick them by offering them something that's going to be detrimental to them down the line. That's
And
that's wrong.
that was the point that I made with him, that he didn't have an honest conversation with her,
Mm-hmm.
because he told her that he was from Medicare, but he was from a company like one of the HMOs, whichever one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he's saying, I work with a company that's affiliated with Medicare
Mm-hmm.
and senior services. No, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So you gave her a misleading conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him to remove her from the database. So those are the kind of calls that seniors have to look out for. And if they're not sure, ask somebody and take
Right.
their name and number and have a family member to call them. Don't just whatever they tell you, just fall for it. You, like she said, ask questions, ask them their name, get their phone number, tell them you're gonna have somebody to call them back that they can explain it to, because if you don't understand it, you don't just sign up for it because you don't understand it. And if they can't explain it to you so you can understand it, then that's a problem within itself.
It is. It's a big problem. And then you're using the saving mechanism, and seniors going for all kind of coins they can save. So that's the
Right.
trick of the enemy.
Yeah, that's what
Don't
they
do that.
say. But actually, they really not saving you anything. So don't fall for that either. Right.
Right. That's a
I
trick.
really thank you for letting me be on your show tonight. I really do. And I hope that I have gave somebody some vital information on how to disenroll out of HMO. If you want to talk to me at any time, you can reach me at 312-730-8279. I do want to mention that me
The
and
health fairs.
Miss Thomas right here, we are working together to build a program for people to come, for seniors and people with disability, for seniors and people with disabilities to come to learn some more life learning skills and to communicate with others. We're going to have some activities for them just to get some mental health in the community. Some people just need a place to go a couple of hours a week to meet other people and share some good feelings, and some people might just need a hug. So we're working and striving now, putting something together for the community right there on Laramie in Washington. So stay tuned. We will be giving you more information about that. And would you like for me to talk about the two health fairs?
I would love it.
Okay, and also me and uh, to the hearts to a woman's heart, and also Sisters of the Hood will be hosting two health fairs this month, one at Trinity Oaks at 62nd and Drexel. That's May the 13th, and that's from 1 to 3. And on May the 19th, we'll be at the Chapman Park Corporation. That's the senior facility at 737 East 83rd. That's May the 19th. And they're going to be outdoor events, so anybody is welcome to come. You can come get some more information and get your blood pressure checked, and whatever you need. We're gonna try to have some a couple of giveaways. So come on by. You can meet me in person. You can meet the famous Renee Thomas in person. So we will be there helping the community.
Okay. And then I'll have the flyers posted on To a Woman's Heart, all the social media outlets. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, and on the website. So you
Okay.
can't find the information. You can, if you can't find it in them outlets, I don't know what to tell you. You ain't looking in the right place.
That covers about quite a few of them.
Right.
Uh,
And then make sure y'all share this information. It's very beneficial. Information does nothing for no one if it just sit in a room by itself.
Absolutely.
So
And like I
let's
said, you can call me at any time. One more time for my number, 312-730-8279. That's 312-730-8279. My name is Constance Sullivan. And if you don't remember Constance Sullivan, just say Connie.
see there. There y'all go. Y'all got good information coming your way. Absorb it. Take it in and
I'm here
share.
for you. This is what I love to do.
So we want to thank Connie again for coming on by and sharing information that is very much so needed. Again, be on the lookout for what we're working on for in the community. That will be a great networking adventure for our seniors to have somewhere to go and get all the things that they need in one location, and also for the
Absolutely.
two health fairs that's coming up this month. So
Yeah, we'll
don't
be on the
forget.
south side.
Yep. And eventually, I know somebody gonna say the south side. What about the west side? We got that
We're
covered too. We got that covered too. We starting over there. Then we gonna work our way back home.
we're gonna work our way around, right?
It'll be.
Well, actually, we do have the west side covered because we're opening up the whole location on the west side.
Oh, well,
So
that's
the
right.
west
We do
side is
have the
really
west side
covered. So
covered.
we're reaching out to the south side too, but the
Right.
west side covered.
The
So
west side covered.
yeah,
They
covered.
covered. They right in the prime location, right there on
Absolutely,
Laramie and Washington.
absolutely. You can't get no west side than that.
Yep, you catch the Lake Street L and come on down and have somebody drop you off at Washington Laramie and walk around the corner.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I want you all out there in the TV land, the internet land, to pray for my aunt. I have an aunt that needs some prayers. So if you can get a prayer out, um, and I know women to a women's heart they're always sending prayers out. So just send a prayer out for my auntie. She's in Texas and she doesn't have corona, but she's sick. So let's pray. Would you pray? Give a prayer for her. Her name is Rose Sullivan.
All right, well, we gonna put the blood of Jesus on Rose
Come on
Sullivan,
now.
that he wave his healing
Come
hands
on
from
now.
the crown of her head to the sole of her feet, honey. And when she come
Absolutely.
up out of there, she amazed the doctors, and they'll know it
Absolutely.
was nobody,
But
nobody,
God.
nobody but Jesus. There you
Absolutely.
go. Now we standing on that. The blood still works.
All right.
It does. So y'all put them prayers out there. Now we a sisterhood, and one person, two-person, we all pray collectively. We can shake some things up. So
Absolutely.
let's get them prayers going.
Absolutely. And
All
like I
right.
said, thank you for having me tonight.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
and I really enjoy myself every time I come on your show. So anytime that you need me to come back, there's a lot of services I can talk about. I'll be more than happy to share any information that I have with the community.
I know you're such a sweetheart.
Thank you. And you are too.
And we're going to talk after this because we got other stuff to do.
That's right. Absolutely.
All right, everybody. That concludes another episode of To a Woman's Heart, where we uplift, motivate, encourage, and empower women. Listen, I want to put a little bug in y'all ear. So we're going to pull back on Wednesday nuggets for a minute. There are a couple of young ladies, especially one. And on tomorrow, we're going to be having a conversation where we're going to straight from the heart. That's what it's going to be called, straight from the heart. And these are the battles and the scars of life from these individuals. And they're going to be talking about it. They're going to be sharing some things. And I know sometimes we feel like that we stand in the storm all by ourselves and nobody understand what we experience, but there are some individuals out here that can provide you some encouragement if you've never been encouraged in your life. Check us out tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. from for straight from the heart, and you're going to
All
hear
right.
some real good conversation, and it might be some conversation that puts you in a little shock mode, but you can understand if they can stand in it and get through it, so can you. All right, so
Absolutely.
y'all stop by tomorrow, Wednesday, 7:30. We'll
All
be
right.
live streaming this conversation, and it might be a multiple episodes of this because there is a lot of things that needs to be talked about. You'll be amazed at the women who have been incarcerated but turned their life around. The women who have lived through being cheated on and lost themselves, and then they found themselves again. So these are conversations that some of us are scared to have, but we're not going to be fearful of these conversations. We're going to have these conversations on tomorrow. So
All
stop
right.
by and invite somebody to
All
watch it
right.
on tomorrow. All
All,
right.
okay.
All right. See
Have
y'all
a
later.
wonderful evening.
All right.
Okay. Bye, everybody.